Welcome to Deep Thought, improving your aura. And this was a request by one of my subscribers, exposing the emperor. Improving your aura. Now, I've talked a lot about auras, right? And basically all the aura is really two things. One is your visual presentation, it's your image. Like somebody will look at you and they will get a certain impression about you. That's your aura. But not just look at you, but they will feel something when they look at you. That's your aura. Like you can look at somebody and they give the aura of somebody who's dangerous. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel a slight fear. Or someone who can make you comfortable. You know, you're going to feel that comfort. That's why, for the guys, that's why a lot of women say they can, choose who they're going to sleep with within a few seconds. And really, attuned men can feel that as well. Like I can look at a woman and tell how far we'll go. Like I had one woman, we met and it didn't start off well, but I just looked at her. I just said, we're going to be great friends. And it turned out we ended up being great friends. Because I could read the aura and even why, it was some insecurities on her part, why she was acting silly with me when we first met. It is what it is, right? But check it out. I'm going to give you steps to really build your own aura, how to build your aura up to make it a positive thing where people just look at you and it's like, pow. On paper it's very simple. It might be harder on another thing. But there's both a physical component to your aura and a mental component. And it's not a step-by-step. These are things you can work on simultaneously. But you still need to work on them, especially the mental part. That you got to start that as soon as you finish this podcast. Now, first of all, the physical part. If you want to build your body, build your aura, physical appearance matters. Physical appearance matters. People not only make sexual judgments off of your physical appearance, but personal judgments. It is what it is. You go in, if a person with a good physical look goes into an interview, and then a person with a bad physical look goes into the interview, the person with the good physical look is going to get it. Now, this isn't strictly just like raw genetics, like raw beauty, but it's how the body looks. So one of the first things you want to start doing is putting the right foods in your body, cleaning out your body, making sure you're taking regular bowel movements. Eating enough veggies and fruits to keep your body clean and lessening meat. Now, I'm a meat eater, but when I look at my diet, I actually probably put more fruit into my system. I put way more fruit. Like my dinners consist of fruit. Like I eat one major meal a day. And that's at lunch. And it's extremely rare I eat meat for dinner. All right. But that's the thing. Now, I'll probably transition to a point I'm not eating that much meat. Reason why I say that, and it's I say people really have to determine, people have to determine whether or not stuff is going out the system quick enough. Because the thing with meat, it sits in your system. And it rots, basically. That's why poop stinks. And also why your breath stinks. Ain't always something with your teeth. I remember I had an older cousin who said, she was a nurse. She said the best way to deal with bad breath is to eat a lot of greens. And I didn't know what she meant at first, but what it meant was the greens will help you poop more and get that out of your system. And I know in some Asian cultures, they'll eat meat, but less meat, just a little bit of meat, and it's still a personal preference. But whatever the case, regardless of what you eat, because there's some unhealthy vegans out there, believe it or not, you got to get it out your system. You got to get it out your system, and you got to drink plenty of water. Try to lessen the amount of sugar that you're ingesting, even in some of these drinks. It got the biggest addiction out there is sugar, right? So whatever the case, you want to start by cleaning out the insides, right? You want to start cleaning out because that reflects on the outside. If there's a problem going on inside, a good holistic practitioner or doctor or something, they can look at your skin and tell what's going on, right? Get plenty of sleep, and that's something I'm guilty of. It's hard for me to sleep like maybe 4 or 5 hours straight. But I try to get a nap. That's where I got to work on. Get plenty of sleep. Your body needs like definite rest. Exercise. And this is not for aesthetics. Your body was built to move. So get some exercise. You don't have to be like one of these super fitness models or something, but at least walk or anything. So you want to do all that. Don't get so caught up in it's not even about like weight training or anything. I mean, that's good for aesthetics, but some people can do that, still not be healthy. Focus on just having a healthy body. That's the first thing, because it's going to reflect in your hair, it's going to reflect in your skin and everything. All right. And plus, you're just going to feel better. You notice if you pay attention to how a person moves around when they're sick and how a person moves around when they're feeling good. If you're feeling good, you're moving with more vigor, more vitality. That affects your aura. If you see somebody moving around, they got a lot of energy and stuff, that makes you feel good. If they got like low energy, that pulls you down. Right? So you want to really take care of what's going in your body, take care of your outer body, work out and everything. Find some type of exercise. It can range from yoga, walking. That's why you get a lot of older folks and they're walking every place, but they're in great shape. So you want to do that. Get the body right. Now, a little secret with the aura. Your clothes kind of create an aura around you. Like there's 2 ways of wearing clothes. One as a shield. That's to block sexual attention from you. Right? And that's very important because when people, the primary way to attract somebody is with your body. Not with your face. For the players out there, not with your mouthpiece. The primary way is with your body. Now, that's part of your aura. So if you're wearing some clothes, how you wear them, if you wear clothes that kind of deflect attention away from you, that's a shield. But it also gives you the aura of being conservative. It also affects how people are going to look at you. Like, I'll never forget, I was doing something in D.C. and I went into this store. It was ran by some Muslim sisters, right? And, they covered up. These were more traditional. They were covered up. And I noticed my energy, it wasn't a lustful thing. I was forced to deal with who they were, them intellectually. Whereas I might go in some other stores, like some clothing stores, and the women are just like sexy. But they wearing their clothes as a magnet, and part of that sexiness and part of the magnet thing is to draw people into the store. But that's still part of your aura. That says something. Now, a sexual aura, that's very good. What the type of clothes you wear that affects your aura. Like you should have a subdued aura, or more your clothes are blocking if you go into church. You go into a church or you go into a serious business meeting. That's why businessmen and women wear conservative clothing. They trying to focus on business. Now, when you go into the club or you go to a party, you're focusing on partying, and they're both equally important. You got to work hard and play hard. So you want to draw attention to you. So your aura says, hey, I'm a fun person. I'm comfortable with my own sexuality. I want to hook up with you. See, and notice in these instances, it's always about what is silently being said. Like I say, if you're in a business meeting, a serious business meeting, everybody's dressed conservative. Because you focus on business, you focus on something intellectual. Or in a spiritual type of service, you're focused on your spirit. But then you get, like I said, the other situation, a party, your aura needs to say, boom, I'm ready to party. Now, of course, you do get some people who might go to a church or a business meeting dressed totally in a sexual manner. I've actually known, I know this one young lady, an attorney. I used to see her go to court dressed like a hoe. And I used to just look at her like, okay, that might not be conveying the message you need, because it's sending a message. Now, that's just the body part. A very important part is just your mindset. We've all seen people who carry themselves, they got plenty of vitality. We say they have charisma. The thing is, they have an aura that says, I'm a good person, I'm a friendly person, I'm an approachable person, right? That's part of it, and that's a mindset thing. Like, yeah, I'll like you, I'll be friendly to you. But then some other people got a I hate people attitude. They got a I hate people mindset. So what they do is their aura gives off, their body language and everything gives off a message that says, leave me alone. They won't smile as much. They will have that overall presence that says, stay away from me, or I'm a bad person. And you see it. And it reflects, like I mentioned, just briefly mentioned, body language. See, that mental thing affects how the rest of you look. That's why you start the mental thing right after you hear this podcast. Because if you got a negative attitude, it's going to reflect in how you walk. It's going to reflect in your body language. It's going to reflect in how you look at people. You know, it's like people feel it. People see it. Like one thing I've told plenty of dudes, I say, don't think of a woman as a bitch. Because that's going to reflect in it. And ironically, I'm reading a book now, Black Players, The Secret World of Black Pimps, that was written in the 70s. Pimps actually think the same thing. You know, pimps actually say, hey, don't be thinking of her as a bitch. Because that's going to affect your aura and how you're looking at her. Because if you have a disdain from somebody, no matter what come out your mouth, it's going to reflect in your eyes. If you have a disdain for someone, if you got a dislike or something, it's going to reflect in you. No matter what comes out your mouth, it's going to reflect in your aura towards them when they see you. It's because they're going to look in your eyes. You can't hide your eyes. People think they can hide whatever or lie. That's why you can read body language. Like a lot of people, I take with a grain of salt until I can eyeball them. I really do. If I can look at them, I can tell what's up. Like easily. And I can't think of when I've been wrong. But I can get an idea if I can eyeball them. Like I can tell a lot from a picture, but if I'm in their presence and I'm having a conversation with them, I can tell everything. And I'll put that at like a 95% accuracy. A picture, I give it about a 70% accuracy. Because it depends on the picture. But actual presence, because I'm looking at their aura. I'm not even listening to what they're saying. I'm looking at how their body language, how they're looking at me, how they smiling, facial expressions, everything. All of that is your aura. So your aura is a silent communication. In fact, most communication, 90% of communication is nonverbal. 90% of communication is nonverbal. You can communicate a lot. Like a lot of people, people know me for the relationship stuff, right? And, people talk about mouthpieces, but there have been plenty of times I've had a vibe with women who could barely speak English. I think of so many times, and it was like we couldn't even speak the same language. But subconscious, non-verbally, it was like it was on. And the vibe was there. So, and I ain't going to say what might have happened a couple times. So, it was, you got to develop, once you develop that aura, it really says who you are. So, anyway, and that's just basic. And like I say, you start today. I mean, because like it or not, whatever aura you got right now, that's what people read. So if you're a negative person, no matter what, people going to read that. So anyway, right. That's it for today. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.